Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
All right, folks, welcome to a brand new episode of the Frankly Francisco podcast. I am your host, Francisco. So for the last 5 weeks, I've had guests on the show. This week, I wanted to go solo. Hopefully, next episode, we'll have another guest lined up. In the meantime, today's topic that I want to speak on is about social media and the impacts that it's had, good and bad. But unlike the news, we're going to start with all the positive first. So first and foremost, social media came along and it changed a lot of people's lives. Okay, so people become rich off social media, multimillionaires. It's created an entire generation of influencers, people who post, about the things they like, or they're posting, trying to build their brand. It's created a plethora of people who have become successful just off using social media from every platform. There is a million different types of platforms for people to use. All are not the same, but everybody has their own way of getting their message across. One of the benefits of social media that I found is everybody can fit a narrative the way they want to fit. They can shape anything the way they want to shape it, by the way they edit their video, by how they put together their message. Everybody's individuality can come out. Everybody can say what they want to say. And in that, I think it's been a blessing for a lot of people, especially podcasters like myself. This has given me a platform to be able to come and talk to you guys on a weekly basis. Also lets me put out videos on other platforms as well, short videos about different subjects that I want to broach and talk about. It's been an up and down ride when it comes to social media for a lot of people as well. Just as fast as you can rise, you can fall just as quickly when it comes to this game that we're in right now. When it comes to social media, there's money to be made in this business, especially the podcast business. You have podcasters that sign multi-million-dollar deals. There was a podcaster that I read about. She said that she signed a $60 million deal with Spotify, 60 million. And she turned down a bigger deal from somebody else. And all she has to do is 45 episodes and, do mini clips. That's a deal. But a lot of people don't know the work that goes behind this stuff and how long it can take for somebody to progress and to get in the position that they're in when it comes to this game. Podcasting is not easy, no matter what anybody tells you. It's not an easy game. You have to be able to constantly create content, constantly find things to talk about. Some podcasts are easier than others because some are scripted. So they already have a script laid out as to what they're going to do, what they're going to talk about. Some are more professionally done than others. And some are like mine, where I shoot from the hip, talk the way I want to talk, speak to who I want to speak to, try to interview folks that I think you folks enjoy talking to, that I find relevant, that have a message that they want to say. And that's the beauty of running your own podcast. That's the beauty of having social media, because again, you can put out the content that you want to put out. But social media has a lot of downfalls and pitfalls as well, especially when it comes to cancel culture. It's a real big thing where when somebody gets too big, they tend people tend to find reasons to try to, cancel them, which is crazy to me. Kevin Samuel is an example for one. They're trying to cancel this man right now, having a petition because they don't like what he's putting out. No one's saying what he's saying is wrong, but everybody just doesn't like him, so they want to cancel him, which I think is nonsense. He should be able to say his opinion the way you have a right to say your opinion as well. And I think we get a little bit too caught up in trying to not hear each other out. We use social media in a way sometimes where we drag other people and we try to bring them down to a level where they think they need to be. Don't get me wrong. I will tell you, just because you're a millionaire, you're not above criticism, because people do screw up and people do put their foot in their mouth. So yes, you're going to get backlash. If you're on social media, people have to understand you're opening yourself up for criticism if you do something wrong. No one is above it. I don't care if you're a millionaire, billionaire, you will get dragged by some people. And some folks, is just the fun of being a troll. Some people are going to troll you. very, very much. It's going to happen. And we just have to find a better way of trying to rise above all the trollness, trying to manage our day to day lives. Because a lot of us have regular 9 to 5s and we're trying to build a career using social media and trying to be something different as we proceed moving forward. Social media is always going to evolve, it's always going to change. You had Facebook, you had MySpace, Friendsters came first, then MySpace, then Facebook. IG replaced that, TikTok's replaced IG. And eventually there's another platform that's going to come along that's going to replace TikTok. It's bound to happen. But if you look at the evolution of social media, TikTok used to be about people doing videos for dancing, creating dance moves and getting a beat to music. Now you rarely see that. Now TikTok is about everything. Videos ranging from political to just stuff that happened in the news or to just reposting what somebody else posted and reacting to that post, which drives me batty because you get more reactions on a person reacting to another post than original content sometimes, which drives me nuts. And it's the algorithm. And a lot of people don't know how to work the algorithm. People can say they can. TikTok decides what videos go viral and what videos don't go viral the same way IG does the same thing. Facebook, all these media companies are controlled and they put out what they want to put out. They make things go viral the way they want them to go viral. And if you're running a business, you can actually pay to promote your stuff and get it out there. So some people are willing to do that, some people are not. At some point, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to promote my stuff just to get a better foothold in and get my message out to more people. It can be difficult sometimes with social media because you never know. It can be a snail crawl to get where you need to go. It's going to take time when you try to build an audience. I don't care who you are. Unless you're a celebrity and you come out with a podcast, already millions of people are going to listen to you. But when you're somebody like me who works a 9 to 5, who comes home, do that thing and then come on the mic and start talking, it's a little more difficult to build that audience that would instantly come from somebody who's already known, who's already out there. Because I don't do the celebrity thing. I want to talk to the average Joe, the person that's on the precipice of making it to that next level. That's where I come in on that. And I think for me, social media has been a blessing because it's helping me build my brand and it's helping me focus on putting my message out there for people about the things that I feel are relevant and the things that I think people will enjoy listening to. Feedback's always welcome. If you want, if you want to come on the show and talk about something you don't like that I said, then come on in. I'm very civil when I have a conversation. I don't really cuss on my show. There's no need for it. I don't see the need to do that. Now, when I'm off air and I'm talking to my friends, I can cuss with the best of them. It's never a problem for me. But while I'm on, I try to be as professional as I can, and we can have an open and candid conversation without, you know, resulting in, cussing at each other or acting like we're 2 year olds. And I think the problem with social media is that people tend to not see reality sometimes. And instead of trying to have a conversation, what they do is they become keyboard warriors and they get behind the keyboard and just start trolling people. I mean, it's gotten to the point right now when it comes to trolling that people have had to put their accounts private or they've had to shut down their accounts altogether. I see another trend on TikTok where if people get over a certain amount, I've seen people get 10,000 likes or 10,000 followers, and for some reason somebody reported that they didn't like it and their TikTok gets shut down, then they have to create a new TikTok and build that audience back up. I don't understand why people hate. I mean, I don't know if it's in our human nature to do so. Other people don't like others seeing other people succeed. I want to see everybody eat. But with social media, it's made things a bit better for people to be able to get their voices out there and create a narrative that's going to work for them. And I think sometimes the narrative gets under people's skin because it's not their own. People come on social media to create something that they want to talk about. Social media has been something that's helped make us more aware of certain parts of the world that wouldn't normally be made aware of. The news is not always going to hit on everything pleasant that's going on in the world. If you notice, the media always starts with the worst things and then always leaves the best things that's happened in the world till the end of the show. They'll tease it the entire show, and the last 5 or 6 minutes of the show is when they say, the feel good story of the day. But everything is built up to be negative because negativity sells in media and on social media. If you notice, most posts on social media that get the most attention are the negative ones. Something bad is happening. There's a Karen out there, or my son likes to call them Carls, because you have Karens and you have Carls. That's the nickname my son gave a male Karen. So it it amazes me sometimes how people act when they don't like what somebody else is saying. And I think we need to do a better job of communicating with each other. We need to do a better job of being able to have those type of conversations with each other without having to come across as angry all the time. I don't know why we're so angry on social media. Why so much hostility with people just because you don't agree with them? You know what I mean? We can all have a conversation without being vulgar with each other and while we're talking. And that's the downside of social media. I think social media has created a platform for everybody to say what they want when they want to say, but there's consequences for the things you say. Don't ever think you're going to say whatever you want and there's not going to be any backlash for it. You have a right. There's a free country. We can say that whatever we want to say, but at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't like it or you're saying something you shouldn't be saying, there's going to be backlash for it. But I'm never going to stop somebody from expressing themselves, and never going to stop somebody from saying what they want to say when they want to say it. We have to come to a understanding for each other and stop being a bully. I think people troll to the point just to troll. I think people pick on other people just to pick on them, just start a fight, just to start an argument. People just start an argument. It doesn't matter what it's over. Oh, you said the sky is blue. Well, I'm saying it's red, and then it just balloons from there. Um, some folks don't have anything better to do than just to pick a fight with somebody else instead of being a grown up and having a conversation because your narrative didn't fit theirs. They decided to come at you. By all means, I'll just I'll block you. I don't have time for that nonsense. If you want to have an open discussion, we can have an open discussion. That's just how I see it. And it's gotten to the point where people are actually dying from this stuff, man. People are from cyberbullying from social media. I mean, how bad can it be that people are killing themselves because they can't take the bullying online? People don't understand the psychological damage cyberbullying can do to somebody. You have kids who are teenagers that are killing themselves because people are bullying them on social media, and people are not understanding the toll that can take. And it's not them being, a coward. It's not them being soft. That stuff is a mental strain. We've gotten to the point, we've gone away. This generation is way different than where I grew up in the 80s and 90s. Completely different generation, man. Everybody wants to be known. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants that validation. For some reason, I don't know why that is. If you get a million views, they think I'm validated. I'm a somebody. People want to have that feeling now. They want to feel like, yeah, I made it. Even if they didn't make it, they just want to know that somebody out there likes them. So when they get the negative attention back and it just keeps coming in waves and waves, it can weigh on the person heavy. You know what I mean? It can hurt somebody to see that they're getting blasted every single day on social media and not being able to deal with it. And it leads to suicide. A lot of folks have killed themselves because of this stuff. And I think it's kind of sad that we can't be more understanding with each other when it comes to this stuff and we get online and just start fights just to start fights. I don't see the pleasure in it, but some people enjoy that stuff. I, for one, don't. Um, we can always have an open discussion about things, but for social media, I think at some point it's going to evolve. It's going to evolve. You're going to have another platform that's going to come out, and you're going to have waves of people that's going to go over to that platform. Either they're going to love it or they're going to hate it, and they're going to make it big or they're going to crush it completely without being on it. It's going to be an evolution. People want to be seen. Now everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame. Whether they get rich off of that or not, they can get their 15 minutes of fame by posting videos. It's a blessing because you can make good money off of this stuff. There's tons of people that become millionaires even thousandaires or 100,000aires where they're living a comfortable life, promoting products, promoting TVs, promoting movies, promoting upcoming shows. They get paid for this stuff, which is good. Sometimes it can get a little annoying when I'm watching some podcasters and literally every 2 minutes there's a ad in, and it drives me a little batty. I can understand maybe one or two ads in a podcast or one or two ads in your YouTube channel, but when you have a commercial every 2 minutes, it gets annoying and it gets unwatchable. And I think we've gotten to that point where it's all about making money. And I don't blame anybody. If I can make money off my podcast, I'm not going to say no to it. I'm not going to say nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make any money. I'm just doing this for the love of it. I am doing it for the love of it, but at the same time, get paid for what you love to do. And if I can get paid for this, I'm going to get paid for it. But I'm going to do it in such a way where I'm not going to overwhelm people with commercials. It it defeats the purpose of talking to people if you're going to talk and then 2 minutes later, boom, you get hit with a commercial. You come back, boom, you get hit with another commercial. It gets annoying for a lot of people. And I think we got to do a better job of adjusting that for some folks. So back in my day, we didn't have social media. Social media started coming out really in the when, early 2000s is when social media started coming out. Now you have kids who are 9, 10, 8, 11, 12, making money. There's a kid on YouTube who makes millions of dollars just playing with toys and opening toy products for other people, showing the toys off, and he gets paid, a bucket load of money. You have young kids creating TikTok videos and dances and profiting off it. It's never been a better time to be part of social media. I don't feel that way when it comes to my own kids. My son, he's 14. He don't need a phone. He don't need to have social media accounts right now. For what reason? There's more. There's a lot more bad on social media than there is good. That they're masked behind other things, and I don't need to expose my son to that right now. My other ones, my younger ones, are not going to get phones either right now because there's no need for it. I want them outside. Back in my day, we just go ride a bike. We leave the house. We wouldn't come back till it was dark outside to come eat. And now you literally have to force your kids to go outside. You can't keep them in the house. You know what I mean? Get them out of the house. I'm sorry. You can't get them out of the house because all they want to be done is stick in front of their Xbox, or they want to be this close to their phone. And it gets kind of annoying sometimes because I think kids are not kids anymore. Kids want to act like grown-ups. These parents indulge a lot of this stuff. And don't get me wrong, my son has an Xbox. He doesn't play it every day. I make sure he doesn't play it every day. Media, certain things in media, I don't allow my kids to watch because I'm letting them be a kid. You know what I mean? They don't need to act like grown-ups because they're not grown-ups. They don't need to be seeing grown adult content because they're not grown. They're kids. They should be able to live their life like a kid. Social media is something that should be later on when they're, 16 or 17 and they're close to being a little bit more mature. But some parents allow their kids to be on the phone and have a phone. I've seen a 8-year-old have a cell phone, which blew my mind. Like, what does an 8-year-old need a cell phone for? What does an 8-year-old need to have a Facebook page or a TikTok page at 8 years old? Some of these parents are trying to make money off their kids, and these kids are making more money than some of these parents are. And so these parents are living vicariously through their kids and allowing their kids to make money for them and sitting back and collecting the funds for it. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with making money, but I just feel sometimes that these kids are being exploited on social media just to, make funds for somebody else. And that's just my personal opinion. That's nobody else's. I think a kid should be able to be a kid. Let them go outside, let them ride their bike. And I think we gotten away from that too much. And I'm just as guilty as everybody else is. So, I can't throw stones at a glass house because I live in a glass house with that because I'm on my phone a lot. I'm on my phone constantly, but for what I'm doing, I have to be. I have to pick my phone up. I have to see who's liking the videos that I put out. I need to know who's being added as a follower. That's just part of the gig that goes with it. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be on social media. Honestly, the reason I do it is because of that, because I'm trying to build the brand and I'm trying to build something. I enjoy talking to people. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not because I don't like it, it's because I do like it. And I think I have to be on social media constantly. And it gets annoying for me sometimes to be on social media all the time. But people's attention spans are so short. If you're not constantly keeping yourself relevant, people are not going to watch anymore. People are not going to listen to you. That's just the way it is. If you're not bringing fresh content, people are just going to, the same way, you have rappers that come out with one of these one hit wonders and they fall off. It's the same thing with social media. If you're not constantly evolving, constantly coming out with new content or hitting on things that people want to hear, they'll forget you just as fast. There's been a bunch of YouTubers that were OG YouTubers that had millions and millions of followers, nowhere to be seen now because they all fell off. It's the same thing with, Twitter and IG and now TikTok, and they all pay differently. All their how they pay out are completely different than from what each other. You can make more money on YouTube than you can TikTok, or you can make more money on IG than you can with, Facebook. It's the possibilities are endless on how to make money off of that. But at the same time, I think it's gotten to the point now where we're so concentrated on trying to build a brand and trying to build our businesses to make money off social media that I think we get a little bit too enthralled with it sometimes. They don't know how to take a break from it. Me personally, I don't I don't do videos when I'm on vacation. Like I won't do a podcast when I'm on vacation. I wanted to. I've been on vacation twice this year, and both times I said I was going to record. I never end up recording. And the reason I don't end up recording is because sometimes you need a mental break. I had my equipment with me. You know, you just need a mental break sometimes. You need to be able to sit back and just chill. Like, did I get on social media and post a clip of where I was? Yeah, absolutely. Did I say, here, I'm here doing this, enjoying myself? Yeah, I did. But did I get on and have a conversation for a half hour to talk to people? I didn't, because sometimes you just need that mental break from having to have conversations. I'm used to speaking to people. So for me, this is weird when I have to look into a camera and I'm talking to you guys, but technically I'm not. I'm talking to myself, having a conversation to you guys because I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy talking to people. So sometimes it's weird when I have to get on the mic and there's nobody to talk to. But at the end of the day, when I post this video, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the person, who's looking at this video, who is going to like this video, who's not going to like the video. This is who I'm talking to. And this is what I'm trying to do. And social media is a big part of that. And it's going to continue to be a big part of that. No matter what, whether we love it, hate it, it doesn't matter. It's always going to be part of our lives right now, especially we have cell phones, especially when the technology keeps changing. These cameras on these phones are, top notch. Like iPhone has, killer phone camera that you can use. It's like, a regular camera quality. It's insane. You can film movies on these things. As long as that keeps happening, the technology for handheld now, people are going to be able to do the things they need to do. You can get portable ring lights that goes on these phones now. So you're able just to pop a ring light on there, have the brightness you need, and record an entire podcast right from your phone. It's crazy. It's crazy. We've gotten to that point. They're selling whole kits, whole blogger kits, in these stores where it comes with everything you need to be a vlogger. it's they're really pushing everybody to be out there on social media. But remember, there's a lot of backlash. There's going to be backlash for people, whether you wanted to or not. You say the wrong thing, you don't say the right thing, or you said something that somebody doesn't like, man, it's going to come to you hard. People are just going to come out of the woodworks for you. There's two casts that I listen to a lot on YouTube. I watch their videos a lot. They're called Album and Preach. These dudes are hilarious, but they make a lot of valid points. They touch on subjects like this. And I think they prove that you can disagree with people and people are still going to watch because they get a healthy amount of people that view the show. I think they do a good job of staying neutral when it comes to a lot of subjects. They don't shift too far to one side or too far to the other. They give their own perspective, and whether you like it or you don't like it, they're going to say it. And I think that's very refreshing because there's a lot of people that will choose one side or choose the other because they don't want to anger either one. But I'm trying to be like them where I'm right in the middle. I'm trying to be neutral. I'm trying to hear both sides of the argument. Then I'll give you my perspective of it. and that's it. So when I post a video on TikTok or when I post a video on IG, I'm simply giving you my perspective and my opinion on something. You do not have to agree with it, but I'm going to tell you it anyway, whether you want to hear it or not. That's the beauty of social media. I can fit whatever I want to and shape it however I want to and post it and put it out into the world. You make your own decisions on whether you want to see it or you don't want to see it. It's as simple as that, because you can always not click it. So when people get angry because people are posting things they don't want to see, don't click on it. It's clickbait. Some people, when you post something, some things you see is just clickbait. It's for people just to for have you to press it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a good message they're sending, but doesn't mean they're sending a bad message. It's like when you go on some of these sites and they say, "Oh, look at this photo. There's this person did this," and then when you go on it, you click the page, and then they give you a sentence, then you have to click another page to get to the next page. It's clickbait. So just be wary of that when it comes to that stuff on social media. Same thing with videos. Some people have you click this video thinking it's this big thing, and it ends up being absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The whole video they talk about nothing. You know what I mean? But they drag you in by a small clip that they put out there saying, "Hey, look at this right here." So they can draw you in. That's what it comes down to, just drawing you in. It doesn't matter if you stayed on the video the entire time or not. As long as they click on that video, it counts as a click. And that's the beauty part of YouTube. That's the beauty part of IG. That's the beauty part of TikTok. It doesn't matter if you like the video or not. The clicks is what matters. The views is what matters, because then you build your audience and you build your base that way. So anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in, listening to me vent a little bit. Just wanted to get some stuff out there and talk about how the effects of social media, the good and bad, and how I think sometimes we get a little bit lost in the way we say things and the way we do things on social media, and we let it affect our everyday lives. We really do. You can't go to work 5 minutes while you're in there. The first break that you get, first thing you do is pick the phone up to see who's doing what videos is trending. A lot of people are not using Twitter anymore, but they still are. Like, I use Twitter just for like sports and breaking news and things of that nature because they're pretty fast with it. TikTok, I'm brand new. Basically, I only have a couple of videos up, and you can tell the difference. Like, some of my videos have gotten 100 some views, some of them have gotten 500 views, and it's just you have to keep putting them out there to build your base. I want everybody to be able to make as much money as you can, and using social media as the way to do it, because nobody else is going to make the money for you. But we have to be cautious and make sure that we don't get too overwhelmed with the social media and try to make that our focus of everyday life. Because if you're concentrate just on social media, you forget everything else around you. You can do what you love to do, just don't let it run you. Make sure that you leave yourself open to other experiences and to other things that you want to do. Put the phone down every once in a while. Take a break. It's not going anywhere. The phone's not going anywhere. It's going to be there. Just take a break. Do what you do. Build your brand. Enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. But sometimes take a step back. Mellow it out. Social media is going to be there when you get back from a couple of days of not being on there. You're not missing anything. You're really not. But I appreciate you folks listening in. I thank you. And you folks, I will see you next time on the show. Thanks. Have a good day.